Hello, my makeup loving friends. What's happened? Time is a weird concept, and it's one I've not been behind for most of the time. Do you like my shirt? It's Lord of the Cats, Fellowship of the Ring. Sorry, this is like my second video today, so you're gonna see this t-shirt a lot. Uh, just in case you think I'm living in the same clothes. I mean, I am, but I don't want you to actually think that, you know. Anyways, we have been here for another month, believe it or not. I know. Time. The only reason I know this is happening is because my phone is telling me we're in June now. Yeah, I know. Root. It is officially the 1st of June. Huh. So that means we had the whole month of May and we had a lot of makeup releases. It did slow down a little bit. The main thing that we were focusing on in my new makeup releases videos was things like enabler alerts, sneak peeks, etc. But we did have a lot of new releases. So my new makeup releases videos are generally very, very long. They're usually at least 50 minutes. So I totes understand if you don't have the time to do that. To sit and watch it. It takes me hours to edit. It is a pain, but I do think it's a video worth doing. So this video is essentially to refresh your mind for those who have watched, and it is a little snapshot of the best of stuff that I think was released in May 2020. So I'm going to talk about just 10 items, what I think of them, will I pick them up, do I think they're overrated? Because I'm not just picking these based upon my opinions, but I think based upon the general trends of makeup. So just so you know, do please comment below. Like, do you agree with any of these? Do you think there was anything I missed out on? Would you have put in something else? I'm always interested to hear. So the first thing that I would include is the Norvina electric cake liners. They are $30 each and they come in 2 different trios. So the first trio has a sort of a pink, a yellow and a lime, and the other one has an orange, white and a purple. As far as I know, each of those is 5 grams. So you're getting 15 grams of a trio for $30. So that works out as being essentially 1 gram equals to $2 ish. They're available already if you are interested. Part of why I think they're interesting is they are definitely showing the trend towards more neon stuff. Now, I didn't end up getting them because at the end of the day, I felt that they were so close to Suva liners, and it felt a little bit like they were encroaching on territory there, particularly when Norvina has in the past shown many pictures of her using the Suva liners before, and Suva has all of these. Plot twist, they have each of these colours but in 10 grams instead of 5 grams, and each pot is I think it's €12.53, so it works out actually a lot better in terms of price per gram, right? So I actually ended up getting all of those, and I did film a review roundup including my thoughts on those, and that should be available tomorrow on Wednesday. If you're interested, do keep an eye out. So that was one of the first things that I thought that was interesting because I think it's showing a little bit of a trend. The next thing is more me being a little bit sentimental. This is Propa Beauty. It's a new brand. It is paraben free, it's woman owned, and it's black owned. And I think, particularly given the current climate and everything that we're seeing in terms of the huge racial abuse, discrimination, etc. in the States, although let's be clear, it happens everywhere, unfortunately, but it's particularly marked in the States. I think now is the time that we really have to draw about the black community and show love and show support. And I had this included anyways because I think this is just, they're really beautiful looking products, and they're totally made for people with a deeper skin tone. Although I would happily wear the shade Focused, I think I could possibly get away with that, and probably closer. I think they're beautiful looking shades. They have 12 shades of their new lipsticks. They're $12 each, but if you liked all of them, you could get the whole set of 12 for $99, which is a $45 saving, which is pretty darn good. So that was the second brand that I think did something really, really interesting this month. This next one, they haven't been released yet. They're actually going to be released in 2 days. So tomorrow, once I'm actually putting this up, because this is a Tuesday video. It's the XX Revolution. Now they're coming out with a lot of things. They have their Concealer XX, Liquid Skin Foundation, or Foundation rather, Glow Skin Foundation, and Exposure Highlighter. They have other things as well. But for me, I'm really interested in trying out the Glow Skin Foundation because I have been trying out the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Foundation. It's on my desk. I've clearly been using it again. That'll be in my review roundup that will be posted tomorrow on Wednesday if you want to see my general thoughts, reviews, etc. I've been using it for a while, but I'd like to try the Glow Skin Foundation. I also quite like the look of that highlighter as well. I think they're really nice. In addition to that, they also have the Express Shadow Palette in Exposed, which is like a brownie nudie one, and the Express Shadow Palette in Experiment. The blue one is what I'm really, really interested in, and they have like this other one that's quartz, and it seems to be like a shimmer one. That's not really for me, but the blue one, I'm thinking like when XX Revolution does go live, I probably will get a foundation, maybe a concealer, a highlighter. They have these amazing like liners that are coming out as well. They're like duochromatic. I couldn't get a proper picture of them, but I really want to get those. I don't know if you're interested in me doing a review of them. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I want them anyways, and I want to get maybe one of these little palettes. The next thing that I thought was interesting that was released this month was the Wahala palette by Juvia's Place. It was only available on their website. You couldn't get it. It hadn't come, or it hasn't come to Beauty Bay yet. And last time I looked, it was completely sold out on Juvia's Place. Now myself and the beautiful Nikita, she has her own channel. I am linking it down below. It is called Beauty by Rose. We were like chatting on WhatsApp and she was like, do you want to get it? And I was like, of course I want to get it. You know I want to get it. I have problems. And she was like, will we both get it? And I was like, I am fully on for this. So we decided that we would purchase it together, have it delivered to mine, and then I can send it on to hers, because I have a few things I want to send to her anyway, because she is mit baby. And every time I say that, I think of Bridget Jones 2, you know, and she's like, ik ben mit baby, but also not mit baby. And they're like, is there something wrong with her? Anyways, I have gotten this. It hasn't arrived yet. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to be doing something with it on this channel. I am very excited about the green. The shimmers. I love Juvia's Place. And I don't think there's any palettes that I've gotten from them in the past that I've just been like, it's okay. I've always liked their stuff. Like I just think they're really good. It was available for $36, but we did have a code where we got like 20% off. There's always codes, always. That's one of the things I talk about in my new makeup releases videos. I try and give the codes, etc. in the video and down in the description box or in a pinned comment down below. Because really they don't give me enough room in description boxes to put everything I want, but there you go. Next thing, I'm including this not because I personally find it interesting, but let's face it, Jeffree Star released something, so I have to talk about it. It was a big release. I can't say it broke the internet, but it was trending for a period of time, so I do have to talk about it, whether I like it or not. I like. It's not that I dislike this palette. I think it's a perfectly nice, cool toned palette. It's $58 though, which I find expensive, and coming from the girl who loves bougie makeup, like, I mean, I like to think I'm fancy. It just seems like a very big price tag for what it is. If it was $30, then I'd be like, okay, I'll think about it. I was also very confused when he said that it was gothic, because, sweetie, that's not gothic. That's not. It's cool toned, neutral, but it's not gothic. Nevertheless, it did sell out, and they are talking about restocking in June. So, I mean, he has a lot of stands. A lot of people are going to buy it. Fair play to him. It's not really for me. I know he's coming out with something else again in June, like his actual summer thing. Praying for greens. Praying for greens. Say it with me now. Jeffree, bring out a green palette. Pleases? Thank you. So yeah, I thought that was one of the next more talk-worthy palettes to bring up in this video, if somehow you were living under a moon and didn't know it happened. The next thing, and I feel quite funny putting this next to Jeffree, but it's Lunar Beauty's release. Why I feel funny, if you don't know the drama that's gone down between Manny MUA and Jeffree Star, you're a better person than me because you've managed to not go through the annals of the internet to find out the beef between those two. I mean, I don't really get it, but there you go. Anyways, that's me completely going off the point. This released, it is a fabulous 6-pan blush palette, primarily mattes. There is one shimmer in it. It was retailing for $35 on his website, and he had 3 glosses as well. They were each $17 in the shade Celine, Moon and Starlight. Celine is a re-release, and he's made it permanent in the collection. It was previously with his Greek Goddess collection, which was released maybe 2 years ago, something like that. I was really quite glad to see that he wasn't coming out with an eyeshadow palette. Don't get me wrong, I love an eyeshadow palette, but it was nice to see something different, and I actually don't have that many blushes. I just don't gravitate towards them, but these were more down my road. I thought they were very, very pretty. I managed to miss them being sold on his website. I know, silly me, but they came to Beauty Bay. But I was very annoyed because if you go on the UK Beauty Bay versus the Irish Beauty Bay, they make you pay a lot more, even when bringing into account the conversion rate between the Great British Pound and the Euro. So they were asking you to basically pay an extra £3 on top of that. So I actually, because I'm like, they were asking me to pay an extra £10 or something like that, which, you know, in the grand scheme of it wasn't a lot, but I am that petty person. So I was like, no, you're not getting my money. And instead decided, no, I'll send it to my address pal, which, by the way, when they send it to my address pal, I have to pay €6.95. So I'm only saving like €3. But in my mind, it's the principle. Beauty Bay, stop being so shady. That's a complete tangent, but I think that this release was really, really interesting, and I've heard really, really good things about it. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, I hope it does come soon. But Rebecca, JU, reporting for Beauty Duty, did a really brilliant review of that. I'm going to link it down in the description box. It's where she used this palette in multiple ways to see how much use you could get out of it as a like one size fits all palette. Could it be used not just as blusher, but could it be used as contour, could it be used as bronzer, could it be used on the eyes, etc. And she just does a really, really great review, and she also tries out all the lip glosses as well. So do check that out. It's down in the description boxes. The next thing I found interesting was Copacetic Cosmetics and their Butterfly Kisses palette that is available now. It's this beautiful cool toned purple palette. The one thing I would say is obviously shipping is quite expensive. It's I think it's $22.80 to ship, which is comparable to the price of the palette. So for me, I'm a bit weird in that if I was getting something and that was the shipping cost, I kind of wouldn't end up getting it unless I had lots of other things to get as well. But I do have a couple of things arriving from Copacetic Cosmetics soon, including the Elysian palette and 2 little green quads, which I'm very excited to try. But I do find this so interesting, and I really want to see this brand do well because I think they have some really interesting colour stories. And I don't know the owner, but from what I understand, because we've kind of interacted a little bit on social media, they seem really, really nice. And this palette was actually inspired by her mum, which I think is very, very cute. So if I was in the States, I would happily pick this up. I think it's beautiful, but the shipping makes me a little bit hesitant, just a smidge. But in reality, I probably will end up getting this at some point, along with other things, because I have a problem. And I really do like supporting indie brands. The next thing is Urban Decay have kind of given us a sneak peek of this ultraviolet palette. Now this is a funny one because it's going to split a lot of people into camps, because some people are going to be like, oh, it's not naked, it's it's not a true neutral palette. Well, neither was the cherry palette. That was just part of their line. And I think some people will kind of be like, oh, it's not bold enough or cool enough or different enough, and the formula isn't fantastic. Don't shoot me. I'm just saying what a lot of people will say. Um, I have liked Urban Decay for quite some time. They were one of the first brands I really started to play with when I started to go into more high end makeup. I do think the formula hasn't really changed much. Like, they haven't augmented it much over the years. It would be nice to see if this one does have a slightly different formula. I do think they're trying to push it ever so slightly because they have like a duochrome in there, the shade Lucid. But I will say, indie brands have been doing that for quite some time. We have the likes of Touch of Glam, who I love, and they have been doing that for ages, and I think to a more vibrant thing. But I think for a mainstream brand, this is interesting just to see from Urban Decay, because it does seem that they're trying to get into something a little bit newer, a little bit more innovative. And if we're seeing purple here, it does look like we're going to see a lot more purple eyeshadows in the next while. Jeffree kind of kicked it off with the Bloodlust, and now I think everyone is just going to be following suit, just going purple, 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 purple. There you go. I mean, we've even seen a lot of purple from Tarte and stuff recently, which has been odd. Um, Kaleidos Makeup also came out with a new collection. It's called the Escape Kit collection. There's a lot of things in it, and I'm just kind of bundling it all together. They, of course, have an eyeshadow palette, which is £15, which is different from, they have five-piece eyeshadow palettes already. The Future is in 1 to 5, and I have all of those. And this one is a little bit different. I was initially interested in this, but I look at it and I'm like, no, you already have these. But I think what is interesting out of this collection is actually the blush duos. I think they're really nice. I like that there's a matte, and I like that there's a shimmery kind of counterpart to that. I think that's really, really interesting. And I've heard fantastic things about their highlighters as well. Like, they're meant to be really, really blinding. So if I was to pick up anything, it would either be the blushes or the highlighters. I do think they're really nice. They also have some sponges, a liquid lip gloss, and an eye primer, but I'm not wildly interested in those. But that is it. Those are the 10 things that I personally thought were interesting for one reason or another in terms of the makeup releases for this May. Do let me know what you guys think. Are you going to pick up any of these? Do you disagree with them? I know that a few of you probably will, but I've given my reasons for why I think they're interesting or should be included. But that is essentially it. Do please like, comment and subscribe. I post videos like this every month just to do a little monthly makeup roundup. I have a cat here. She's silently judging me. It's Cece. It is what it is. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, just stop. Just stop. Go socially isolate and think about what you've done. Just do that. But that is it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.